has stopped and now it's cold. Like, it got really cold and then it snowed. While I was driving around this morning, I met a man named Dan, and Dan has a restoration company based out of Abbotsford. And he's been out here in the Sumas Prairie, basically going door to door, offering to help people. And just so everyone's clear, this was a total chance meeting. And after spending a couple hours with Dan, I thought it was definitely worthwhile sharing his story and his contact information for anyone else who needs help.
This house here has had water up to probably the 4.5 foot mark. And then what's happened is that since it's been wet for so long, the water actually wicks. So it's got mush up top. So we got black mold growing already. That wasn't there before, the homeowner said. It's starting to form. And I'll show you in the room that we have mold growing on furniture already and stuff like that. But all this was all new carpet before, but they've basically lost everything. Like their computers, their TVs, all their kitchen, all their appliances, everything is gonna go in a bin, and that's sad. You can sort of see the moisture content on this particular house. Like it's just starting to already on its own.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Either way, you can see the counter, how all the moisture, that's particle board, so it's all falling already, mush. Right, yeah, so it's all sinking.
Like crazy already. Oh my God, what? Have they been back to see this?
Yes, he is.
They must have lost their mind, hey?
Pretty, yeah.
Oh, I can't even know.
This was brand new fridge. They just bought it not too long ago, a couple months ago. In here they lost all their clothes, their hot water tank. You can see how the water has pushed it over off of the stand.
Just from like
just the
water moving
in here, yeah.
So it would have been just sloshing around in here at times.
Jesus. This was floating, he said, when they first came to save some stuff. This was actually floating in the water. This here is the heater ducts that we bring in from the outside to blow heat in. Start getting it warm to try and avoid more damage, and then tomorrow we'll have all this put in a bin. By the end of tomorrow we'll have that done and most of the drywall off with our crew. You know, there's not a lot we can do to save anything in here. It's all
done.
Some people will go and put heat in here like I am. They need to know that you can't just put super hot heat into a house, because then what happens when you get to draw the raw wood, it starts to just buckle and twist, and then you got bigger problems, right? So you don't want to speed dry it. Basically the key is circulation, dehumidification, and heat all at the same time. We'll be here a week. By the end, you know, by probably Sunday, we'll have this completely done, washed, rinsed, cleaned, and ready for them. You're basically rebuilding your house. You know, they had some pictures and photographs that they were worried about, so we're going to try and restore them the best we can, and there's a process that we've learned. We have all this equipment. I have like 30 dehumidifiers, 10 of them are out right now, so we got about 20 sitting in boxes, brand new. Desiccant, I have 2 desiccant ones there where they actually heat the inside and then draw the moisture out, that are just sitting in the trailer. I have about 150 fans still in boxes, not even being used yet. So, and I have probably another 35 D-hums and another 150 fans in Calgary ready to be flown in. I've already flown all this in, but once that's out, I just pull the trigger and they'll ship it up by airplane if everything. You know, I have people in Merritt calling me to ask for help because they've heard about me. So I'm supposed to be going to Merritt tomorrow. I've had to put it off just because right here is where I live and it's where everybody needs it. So when this stops, then I'll just go to Merritt, but I might just ship a trailer full of equipment there if it's not being used, so that somebody can get some use out of it. We don't make any money, so it's not about profitability, it's just us going out and helping. If it costs us $1, we extend the dollar, but basically we're operating on total cost. My time is 100% donated. I don't charge for my time. We go in, we do moisture readings. I have thermal imaging cameras to see where the moistures are and even in the center blocks of the fireplaces, and just try and make sure that the people before they go back are getting their houses dry properly, so that later on they don't have mold, they don't have all these other problems after it's all covered up, and then, you know, a year down the road they're redoing their house again. You know, my staff, my equipment, everything's there and ready for anybody that needs help. If they can't afford it, it doesn't matter, we'll still do the job and get them dry. And you know, I just don't want to be taking advantage of people that can't afford to pay the costs. But if, you know, there's 2 people that definitely couldn't, we didn't walk away, we did the job anyway. Nothing inside is really salvageable, but what we can do is minimize the damage to the structure, get the structure then clean, sanitized and dry, so that they can come in and re-drywall. I myself feel very bad for everybody. I go home at night, my house is not affected, and I have my kids sitting there at dinner time, and you know, they're always wondering why I feel so down. And we're doing the Christmas tree at the other night, and I feel down, and they ask me what's up. And so, you know, I've taken them around and showed them, so now they understand that, you know, some people aren't gonna really have anywhere to celebrate Christmas, and if they do, it's gonna be not really home.
It's right around 0 degrees, so all this water that's in the fields and in these people's yards is going to start freezing, and that's not the ideal situation. What we really needed was a stretch of sunny weather. We've gotten freezing cold instead. Okay, for some good news, this water is draining into the Sumas Canal at a steady rate, and so those fields are starting to dry out. You can see this place here was underwater a week ago, and now it's not. And this place also was way underwater last week and is now above water. And then this road here was underwater a week ago, and now it's not. So this is good news, because people can get back to their homes and their farms, and they can start rebuilding if they can. So in the weeks, months to come, I'm hoping I'll be able to talk to some of the people who live and work out here and find out how they're recovering.
You know, in a fire or a flood, if you see a truck and a cattle trailer come, part the way, let them through. They're there to save cattle. But no, the government here, like whether it's a fire or a flood, same thing. Right away, they shut everything down. They fought us all the way. They told us we had to abandon our farms, leave everything, and get out of here. And they wouldn't let us back in and let all our cows die. Well, you know me, I didn't evacuate. You know how half of them got back in the next day? By helicopter. It was the only way they could get in. They hired a helicopter to fly back in. And their cows are starving to death and bawling away. And the cops wouldn't let us through. We said all the trailers sat there for 2 hours. They were arguing with the cops to try and get through.
The city should be doing something more than they are. I know that at Fort Matt, when we were there, the city dropped off pallets of garbage bags, shovels, brooms, crowbars, hammers, all kinds of things all laid out, and take one, use it, bring it back so someone else can use it. That's what the city should be doing.